sometimes you have extremely eminent lamas who are proven themselves beyond a shadow of a doubt. When they tell you something, you say, okay. Example, the Dalai Lama's personal root guru. And these are two men that the Dalai Lama himself prostrates to. The Dalai Lama prostrates to a Buddha and these two men, not to you and me. My meaning is for the Dalai Lama to prostrate to them. It's incredible. Why? When someone of very high attainments prostrate to someone of lower attainments, it's a demerit for that person. It's very, very powerful demerit. That's why people of higher attainments, people of vows, or people of tantric practice or realize, we put them on thrones. We put them higher. We don't sit on the same level. Why? When we sit on the same level, or we show arrogance, or we show this kind of I'm same as you, it actually is an obstacle to our attainments. Okay? So what happens, that's the reason why we put them on a higher place. We put silks, we put robes, we put beautiful decorations. We put them higher. Why? To celebrate the attainments. Why? To make an affinity to gain those attainments. His Holiness Dalai Lama is a very highly attained being. For him to prostrate to anyone is not simple. You don't just say, oh, I'm a great master, you prostrate to me, I'm your teacher. No. Why? It's highly attained. For a highly attained being to prostrate to you, it will be a very big demerit for you. It will take away a lot of merit. So that's why when a highly realized being comes, or an attained being comes, or a monk, or someone that holds vows, or practices tantra, that, like a mosque or whatever, we stand up, we show respect, we prostrate, or we make beautiful thrones, we make beautiful places, we take care of the house. Why? It's to facilitate them to gain their attainments, facilitate us to gain their attainments. Okay, that's one. Number two, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has 10 shops. 10 shop means debate assistants. And some of them can even go and receive teachings from distant lineages, distant teachers. He can have 8 or 9 or 10 shops. 10 shop. T-S-E-N-S-H-A-B. They're assistants. They're not the Dalai Lama's guru. So, for example, let's say that I'm a High Lama. You can't expect me to run around to that, run here, run there, and go to all kinds of places to find, teachings that are near extinct. So let's say she's my 10th shop, you're my 10th shop, you're my 10th, you 4. So she will go to that place, make offerings to that Lama, receive the teachings, come back and offer it back to me. So for her to offer back to me, I wouldn't consider her my guru or my assistant to find that lineage. Why? The Buddhist teachings must come from a live person. That's called a lineage. So Shirley would go and get the teachings from, let's say, that she lives, 5,000 miles away. So you go there, you receive the teachings, and then you come and you give it to me. So you would offer to me. So how would you give me the teachings? You wouldn't sit on the throne and say, okay, you're on your guru now. You would say, I offer this to you. Why would you offer it to me? So that I can pass it to other people. So that's Kensha. So with the Dalai Lama's tutors, there's only 2. There are some people and some lamas saying, oh, this was Dalai Lama's guru, that was Dalai Lama. Just because, there are teachers out there who gave 1 or 2 teachings, or 1 or 2, obscure lineages, or lineages that were lost to the Dalai Lama, and they can be considered the teachers. But in Tibetan society, there's only 2 tutors. That title is given to only 2 people. The tutor is called Yongzin. Y-O-N-G D-Z-I-N, Yongzin. Only 2. And that comes the senior Yongzin, or the senior tutor, Y-O-N-G-D-Z-I-N. The senior Yongzin comes from the great, renowned Drepung Losli Monastery. That is His Holiness Kepler Rinpoche, who is a master of Sutra and Tantra, who was a previous throne holder, and his previous lives also emanated as Dalai Lama's tutors. And he is considered a living emanation of Yamaka. No one in our system will say he's not a living emanation of Yamaka. Renowned. I have met him myself. The second tutor, the junior tutor, comes from the great monastery of Ganshatse. That's my monastery. And this great master is considered an emanation of Hiruka. Some consider Vajrayana, but you have to understand Vajrayana, Hiruka is considered as one. He's an emanation of Hiruka, and his lineage stems back to Shakyamuni Buddha. He was the chariot driver of Buddha Shakyamuni himself. So his incarnations has been coming for 2,500 years. These great masters, His Holiness Rinpoche, is a direct emanation of Hiruka. These 2 masters are the Dalai Lama's gurus. There's no doubt at all. Now, these 2 tutors have many teachers and geshes, but they have their root lama. their root Lama that they both prostrate to is Pabongka Rinpoche. His Holiness Pabongka Rinpoche is the root Lama of the two tutors. That means every single teaching, every single lineage and tantric transmission and oral transmission of the two tutors came from His Holiness Pabongka Rinpoche. Can you imagine how renowned he is? And this Pabongka Rinpoche has produced two students. Both became the Guru of the Dalai Lama. And hello. And look at the Dalai Lama, look what he does today. Look how much work he does. Look how he benefits people. I mean, if Dalai Lama today had a dream and Tara came to me and told me this, do this, I'll do it. You know why I'll do it? I can't prove it. But look at everything else the Dalai Lama does. See this, even in old paintings in Tibet, this is the Dalai Lama, this is Kepje Ling Rinpoche, that's His Holiness Judan Rinpoche. That's it. No one else. You don't see any other painting, anybody else that's his Guru. Nobody else. So these two renowned teachers, Ling Rinpoche and Judan Rinpoche, that's Yamataka and Hiruka, that's Avalokiteshvara. I mean, look, Fabulous. I was trying to stick myself somewhere that it didn't fit to move over. Okay, now, their teacher that they prostrated to was Pabongka Rinpoche. Pabongka Rinpoche, when he gave teachings, thousands of people showed up in Tibet, thousands. They will walk for 1 month from distant parts of Tibet to come to his teachings. And Pabongka Rinpoche was considered, fully realized or became one with Buddha. When he gave initiations and teachings, during initiations, there's a part where he actually asked the wisdom beings to come and dissolve into you, plant the seeds of enlightenment in your mind. People will actually shape. This was told to me by one of my teachers in America, Geshe. He's in his 80s now. He told me that when these are people who were there, you know, when he gave initiations, people were shape. And Geshe is one of these scholars who's no nonsense, don't talk about dreams, he doesn't want to do divinations, he doesn't want to talk about anything mystical, it's just direct study and scholasticism. He doesn't want to talk about magic. So once in a while he slips, and he tells you that. And he says that people in the audience actually saw Pabongka Rinpoche's third eye. So people in the audience go, oh my God, why does he have 3 eyes? And people actually see people shaking in the audience. I mean, these are monks. They weren't epileptic, by the way. Yeah, they weren't. They weren't epileptic, like, having an epileptic. Everybody in the audience can be epileptic. On top of that, Pabongka Rinpoche is renowned for being the Guru of all Gurus in Tibet, the Guru of all Gelugpa Lamas. The scholars, the masters, the abbats, the teachers, the mighty pupils of Bandit Sarah Preku all attended his teachings. And the 2 inferior tutors all attended his teachings. Now, it was he who, in front of many people, would go to certain pilgrimage sites in Lhasa and touch statues. And many people witness that are alive today. The statues would breathe or sweat or charm. Many people, especially Hiruka or Vajrayana statues. And it was he who, untraditional of Gelugpas, because Gelugpas are like, prove it. But with Pabongka, nobody said prove it, they said yes, sir. So what happens is, with him, he had a vision of Vajrayana. And Vajrayana told him that it would be very beneficial to promote the Vajrayana teachings. You say, that's obvious, she's going to promote her own teachings. Come on, she doesn't have an ego. So it couldn't be an ego trip that she's promoting her own teachings, can it be? And some more, there's other Buddhas that say, slap her and say, hey, Miss Ego, move over. Why don't you promote yourself? Why don't you promote me? Not possible. Vajrayana doesn't have an ego, and then there are more Buddhas who will stop her if she was an ego trip. So it couldn't be right. Vajrayana actually appeared to Pabongka herself and said that my teachings, these particular set of practices, will be very, very beneficial to many people in the future, especially during the Kali Yuga or the degenerate times where attachments to materialism is very strong. And I give you the blessings, I authorize you, that anybody who receives teachings from you, Pabongka Lama, and 4 generations down, have my promise you will achieve Pacho heaven in 7 lifetimes. Because in Tantra, when you receive highest yoga Tantra, Hiruka Yamataka, if you hold your vows, you have Guru devotion, you do your practice, you do your succession, and you do your toe, within 14 lifetimes, you will attain Buddha. It is promised. It is promised. It doesn't have to be in this planet, it can be somewhere else. So it's promised. But within the Vajrayana Tantra, it's also the same thing 14 lifetimes, but it was promised in Pabongka Rinpoche 7. So that means Pabongka, 1, his disciple 2, his disciple 3, his disciple 4. So any of these 4, after that, it's back to 14 again. So Pabonga gave it to Trijanarji. Trijanarji gave it, Pabonga gave it to thousands of people. And Pabonga gave it to Trijanarji. Trijanarji gave it to thousands of people. And then Trijanarji gave it to Sonarji, who gave it to thousands of people. I received it to Sonarji. So I'm the 4th. Am I popularizing myself? No. I have many people out there who support. I'm not the only one. But in Malaysia, I'm the only one, sorry. So I'm within the 4. So let's say that I give the initiation to Jenny, and in the future she gives initiation. Sorry, it's back to 14. But with me, it's still 7. So you kind of get 50% discount. I didn't realize that, but when I received the Sonarji later, years, 20 years later, I read it, I'm like, oh my God. So wow, that's why I hold these teachings particularly very special. And I train up my students, and I name the center after Kichar or Vajrayana Center. That's why I give people Vajrayana statues, or some people throw a bitch in the beginning. I won't throw any names. That's why I give everybody Vajrayana. I promote it. I name our center after her. Why? I follow Pabonga's lineage. Why is that? Why is that? 7 is better than 14. There's many reasons I do that. Then I look at your clouds, and I said, oh my God. Imagine them doing, more complicated deities with a lot of entourage and a lot of meditations and very big silence. Forget it. They already threw BFs about Tanri Pachaman, we mix it off. Forget about Vajrayana, it's like 40 pages. So why? I look at the whole room, I look at the people, I look at the place, and I look at her power, and I look at what she represents. It matches everything perfectly. So I try to get my people towards that. Why? I have other practices. She's not my main practice. She's not my main, She's one of the things that I have to do to give to people. Because if I don't do it myself, I can't give it to anybody. It's like exercise. You don't exercise, you're finished. So you got to do your mental exercise every day. She's not my main practice, but it'll be beneficial for everybody. Why do I keep her statue? It'll be beneficial for everybody. Why do I say I want a chapel? It'll be beneficial. So what I'm trying to lead our people to is her practice. That's what I'm trying to lead our people to. Everything goes to that. So why? Why is Yamataka beneficial? He is very beneficial. I love Yamata. I think he's great. Anything on fire with an animal's head, give it to me. I love it. I love pagan things. Hiroka, I love him too. He's great. So, what's my point? My point is, Pabonga had this vision. And then he told people, I had this vision. And Vajrayana said that to me. Everybody said, yes, sir. Then I said, hey, we're going to check it out, Pabonga. Why? Everybody became a student. And a lot of people, by listening to his teachings and practicing what he said, became very attained. Very, very attained. All Gelugpa lineages today, all high Gelugpa lamas, all Gelugpa teachers in the world, stem back to Pabonga. Even the practices that we do today, like Yamataka, Vajrayana, all that is written by Pabonga himself. Oh yes, that's right. The Dalai Lama's personal lineage goes back to Pabonga directly. So if you criticize Pabonga, you criticize Trijanarji. If you criticize Pabonga, you criticize Trijanarji. You criticize the Dalai Lama. Then is Dalai Lama the only elite student of Trijanarji? No. 99% of the Geshis out there in this world, and the Lamas out there in the world, direct and indirect, are students of Trijanarji. That's right. Big and small. Lama Sopa is a student of Lama Yeshe. Lama Yeshe is a direct student of Trijanarji. Direct. You read his books. You check out his lineage, you tell him what he says. That's right. All direct. Lama Yeshe's main guru is Trijanarji and Sonarji. And in fact, Sonarji was invited to America the first time by Lama Yeshe and sponsored by him. That's right. My teachers, Geshe Turi Gelson, are students of Sonarji and Trijanarji. My root guru, Geshe Kenso-Dosan Hachirochi of New Jersey, he's passed away from Sarame. He's a root disciple of Pabonga himself and Trijanarji. All my other teachers are all disciples of Trijanarji, including Sonarji, all stem down. So when anybody criticizes Pabonga, they're criticizing the Dalai Lama. If they criticize Trijanarji, they're criticizing the Dalai Lama. Why? How can you criticize, how can you love the son and hate the father? You cannot. So people don't realize that. People today look at it and say, oh, which is clear, who's your guru, who's not, who's good, who's not good. Oh, no, I love Dalai Lama, but I don't like this guru, I don't like that guru, this one's clean, this is not good. Oh, your guru is that, so you must be bad. That's very bad. That's very, very bad. Why? How can you criticize the lineage laws? And when you do your sadhana, example, when you do your Yamataka sadhana or your Vajrayana sadhana, in the Yamataka, Vajrayana sadhana, Hiruka sadhana, you have to mention Triyanji Bhavamasli every single day. Why? There's a solicitation of the lineage groups. You have to recite every day. And they're in that. Every day. And they don't put their title, Abampa or Trijan, they put their monk's name. Abampa Rinchi's name is Dejinipo. You'll see about Yuni Sadhana, Hiruka Sadhana, Dejinipo, Hiruka also. And after that is Losan Ishi. Losan Ishi is Trijanji. For myself, after that, Losan Tunju, that's Kenja's Sanji. You have to remember their names. So people out there saying, oh, if you're associated with this Lama, you're doing this practice and it's not good. Wrong. Wrong. Definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. Definitely. And these days, there's a lot of politics out there. There's a lot of politics. If you're associated with this Lama, you're doing a bad practice. If you're associated with this Lama, you're doing a bad practice. How can you say things like that? How can you? How can you say that? Then that means that what Pablo Rinchi and Trijanji taught was, part of it was very good, and the other part was bad. So how can one part be good, the other part be bad? Either they're Buddha or three-quarter Buddha. So if you're going to criticize what Trijanji taught, what Pablo Rinchi taught, as a basis that this was good, that's not good, it's the same thing for Dalai Lama. So that means Dalai Lama's lineage is impure. Because he received it from Trijanji. Impossible. You cannot. If you go into debate with them, they'll lose. That's why I respect all of them. Some people say, oh, look at this Lama. This Lama has this guru is associated with that, that's bad. He's got that Lama's associated with it, that's good. So this Lama is iffy because he's associated with that Lama. I'm like, what? How can you say that? How can you dissect what's good and bad in the Lama? How can you make up that kind of rumor? How can you be an ordinary person judge a Rinchi? The whole Sangha and the whole High Lamas has picked him and then thrown him and say he's a Rinchi. Then you lay people, you don't know anything, you criticize him. How can you do that? When you criticize the Lama, you also criticize the people that have thrown him. Why? You're saying indirectly they're mistaken. Very simple. Indirectly, you're saying they're mistaken. The abbots and High Lamas that have thrown him. Impossible. So like that, today there's a lot of politics because why? Sorry to say, there's a lot of center students needing crack going on. I want my center to grow, I want my center to look good, I want sponsorship, I want help. So what? They can't say that directly, so they put down the different laws. How do they put them down? Oh, their lineage is not pure. Oh, their practice is not pure. They're not practicing pure things. So everybody's like, ooh, let's go to the pure center. Oh, TC. And then what I want to say is all the purity and pure centers today stem from the same lamas. It all goes back to Saranji, Trijanji, and Pavaparanji. Hello? So in Pavaparanji and Trijanji, what? There's a part that's not pure, they're teaching impure teachings, there's a part that's pure. So when you meditate on the pure one, you become Buddha. When you see pure one, you become a devil. Hello? It's improbable. Either they're Buddha or not. How can Pavaparanji turn around and teach something wrong and make a mistake, and then in other meditation you think that he's a fully enlightened Buddha with no mistake? Cannot be. I mean, you think about that. You think about it. So people want to criticize a Lama for who he worships and who his Lama is to judge him. Very wrong. Very, very wrong. And today there's a lot of that going around on the forums, everywhere. Everywhere they criticize. They validate the person teaching to see who their Lama is. Yeah, Signal showed me some things I was shocked. They validate that Lama to see who their Lama is. Once you criticize Trijanji, Saranji, and Pablo Rinchi's lineage, you're criticizing Dalai Lama. You're criticizing Dalai Lama. Then everything's finished. So that means the Dalai Lama has polluted teachings and unpolluted teachings. That doesn't make sense to me. That's why Lama bashing, I am totally against. There are Lamas I really don't like and I won't go near, but I don't comment or say anything because I'm sorry and I'm not being humble. I don't have the clairvoyance to see who they are. So I keep quiet. Why do I keep quiet politically? No, everybody knows me, I don't keep quiet. But when I don't know something, I keep quiet. Lama bashing is very serious today. Very, very serious. So people judge a certain teacher today by who their Lama is. So what do you want? You for example, if I have a teacher and then you don't like my teacher, I'm supposed to give up allegiance to my teacher just to make you happy? Not logical. So if I give up my allegiance to this teacher and I stick to this teacher that you like, all my attainments are gone. Why are my attainments gone? Because I lost faith in one of my teachers. Very simple. Very bad. I don't like politics. And I don't like this kind of, covering your evil deeds with so-called pure and impure religion, pure and impure practices. I don't like that at all. And there's a lot of lay people out there who don't study, who have not committed their time, that have not committed their energy. They just became Buddhists. They're walking down the street and, I took refuge. I'm a Buddhist. They start getting on forums. They criticize. And they go out to centers. They criticize. Very bad. And some people are rich. Some people have big names. Some people are well-known people. And they use that to criticize other lamas people. Actually, they're just more normal lay people. Just because you have money doesn't mean you have the authority to judge another teacher. Just because you have money. Just because you're well-known and rich doesn't mean you have the authority to criticize another teacher. And just because you're rich and well-known and you're under a high lama doesn't mean you don't collect negative karma when you criticize another lama. So you can be rich and famous and well-known, and you can have a famous lama that you have taken refuge in. That's your guru. You promote your guru. Fabulous. But you shouldn't promote your guru at the expense of another guru. And if you may be rich and famous and fabulous, and you have a rich and famous and fabulous guru, and he's pure, right? That doesn't mean if you criticize another guru, you don't collect negative karma. Show us where and who, by authority, what authority that lama is bad, then you can start criticizing. Even if you got a letter that says that lama's fake is bad, and you criticize, you still collect negative karma. Because isn't that contradictory to Buddhist practice? Very simple. So when you criticize that lama, you criticize all the people that enthroned him or authorized him. And you also criticize his students by saying they're stupid, they can't see through him. Very damaging. So is everybody stupid? You're the only smart one because you're rich and you have money? I don't think so. So that means the Lama's stupid. The people who put him on the throne are stupid. And his students are extra stupid. And he's just milking and fleecing them. Oh boy, I wish it was that easy. I'd be rich. You guys are very difficult to fleece. Very difficult. Why? Because you're not stupid. So if anybody criticizes the Lama, they criticize the students, and they criticize their village, and the people that authorize them. You think about it. And these are the people that are like, in cyberspace, hiding out there, and pretending they know everything, but if you meet them, they're like trembling. That's right. So, what am I telling you? Logic to think. Clearly. Anybody want to say anything? Say no. It's like that. Very simple. I don't care who you are. If you spend 30 years in the Dharma, then you come and talk to me. So therefore, when His Holiness Kyabje Pabong Karonje told everybody that, very humbly, that I had a vision of, Vajrayani, blah, 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 and then she promised that anybody afterwards for 4 generations would be able to ascend to Kachara Paradise within 7 lifetimes. Half. Nobody said no, because everything else he did was perfect. And he produced all these great masters and great teachers who are highly attained. So what's my point? You have within the Gelugpa lineage certain lamas that really just totally transcend the, let me check out the teachings are valid kind of system. And one of them was His Holiness Pabongka. And if you ask me why, well, he had total proof, thousands of students, elite masters, a lineage holder, the writer of sadhanas. I mean, all of our sadhanas are written by him. So you're not going to question if he adds one more little thing to it. Oh, by the way, if you practice my Vajrayani, you're going to get to heaven in 7 lifetimes instead of 14. No one's going to say no. And you see Triyakuji saying to his guru, I don't think so, prove it, Pabongka. No, it's too much. I'm sure Vajrayani will appear to high masters in the future again and again and again. To reinvent herself. Reteach. I'm sure that's going to happen in the future. Why? Because what benefits people will change over time.